Hello, so Beastoree very kindly sent me a Christmas gift. It's a Scott M98 respirator. Also, it's basically like the military version of a Scott Promask, so the only difference is I think it's XL valve, slightly different, and it's got a drinking tube attachment. However, this is the Finnish military kind of variant, because as far as I'm aware, although Finland uses the M95 as their main military mask, this one being the M98 was probably a variation they maybe thought about using and other stuff. And also a lot of Scott's products for some reason were made in Finland. Now the funny thing about that is, supposedly the ones made in Finland had a much better build quality than USA ones, so if you wanted to get an M95 or an M98 you always want to get a Finnish built version, not an American built version. Anyway, so this is the mask itself. Now, if you saw my stream, I did on something like the 22nd of December, was it? 23rd of December, I think 23rd of December. I put this mask in the stream, so there you go. This is the M98 respirator itself. So as you can see, voice diaphragm at the front, exhale valve at the bottom, 40mm filter intake there, and the drinking tube's intake is there under the cover. It's got a silicone oral nasal cup inside of the drinking tube there, and it's got a 5-point head harness. Now, the interesting thing of this is I've also heard of this mask called the Sabre. Now, if you're familiar with that very old Finnish mask I have, that's the Sabre, so it's the modern generation of it, so we'll get the two out to compare them in a moment. So I got the mask itself, the drinking tube bottle, which we'll test in this video. It's actually got a drinking tube on this, the bottle directly connects to the mask, which is kind of interesting, and the instruction manual, which is in Finnish, English and Spanish. So, mask M98, it just says on there. It says Tycho Fire and Safety and Scott. But yeah, you'll notice on there it says Made in Finland. I'm going to remove that sticker in a minute, and we'll have a look at the mask. But very kind thanks to Beastoree to send me this. I will put a link to his eBay page in the description of this video. I don't know if he actually sells this mask though, but he sent me one regardless. But anyway, let's have a look at the actual mask a bit closer up. Okay, so I'll get the straps tightened on here, then I'll put the filter on. So I'm going to hold it into my chin and do the bottom two straps first. Then I'm going to do the side two straps, and then the top strap. There we go. So, the voice diaphragm on here seems to project the voice quite loudly, but it is a bit buzzy. But as you can see, the mask pressurises fine. Now, this mask is very comfortable, because if you watch the stream I did with the mask on, you'll know that I had the mask on for quite a long time during the stream. Very good field of vision, very little distortion. Probably one of the best field of visions out of any of the masks I have, I think. Hopefully this is polycarbonate. I actually don't know if it is, but I'd hope it is. So as you can see, the oral nasal cup in this does a really good job. The mask, doesn't fog up at all. So it looks like it's clear silicone that's made out of, so it's designed to be comfortable. But obviously the other good thing about having a clear oral nasal cup is it restricts your field of view less. If this oral nasal cup was made from like some sort of black rubber, for example, like they are in some masks, I definitely have a smaller field of view, but because it's made out of clear silicone, as you can see my nose in there, what that actually does is it means you get a much better field of view, so that's obviously a very good design choice them doing that. So let's just get the straps done fully up. Let's get that top strap done a bit tighter, there we go. Right, so what I'm going to do now is put a filter on and also fill a water bottle up and show you the drinking tube system, but what I want to do first is just grab this bag, and I know this isn't the right bag for the mask, but here we have the first generation of the exact same mask in theory, the Sabre, the Finnish built one, which is basically the same design. This one has an old British World War II filter on it, but in theory it's the same design mask. It's got the big, it was also known as the M71, I believe, this mask. Later on it became a 40mm mask at the bottom, but this one actually takes a 40mm on the side. But anyway, that's the comparison between the old Sabre and the new Sabre. Let's get a filter on it, and I'll do a banana oil test, and then what I'll obviously do is just demonstrate the drinking tube system. If I just get the cover off of that just to show you, that's what the drinking tube system looks like. It's got like a peg. I assume how it works is when that peg is pushed in, you're able to actually drink through the drinking tube. but normally when the peg's out it seals the valve inside. And I imagine this rubber cover gives you an extra layer of protection that when that's sealed shut, that also blocks air intake from going into that section. Now, I don't think you can rotate the drinking tube inside the mask, which is the only downside, because on some masks, obviously, you can. But I think you can manipulate it into your mouth, sort of like that. So, let's see if I can manage that. If not, I'll use the bottle to do it. But oh, yeah, it does manipulate, I tell a lie. Turning this twists it. So, there we go. That twists it into your mouth. If I can get the right angle for it to go in neatly. There we go, that's in my mouth. So, I'm going to fill up the canteen, and then we're going to see if the drinking tube works. So, I've got the drinking tube in my mouth, so I'd obviously take that cover off. I then take this cover off the bottle. It's quite stiff, but it's coming. There we go. So then I've got that connector that goes into here, so yeah, that works fine. So can I take this out without any dripping? Yeah, there we go. Let's get the cap back on there. That's that sealed. Let's turn this to get the drinking tube out of my mouth. And then just get that at a comfortable position. Probably manipulate the drinking tube a bit of my face there to get it as far away from my mouth as possible again, so it's not going to get in my way. There we go. Is that in a good position? Can't really tell at the moment, but the mask's still pressurised to my face anyway, so let's close that cap back there. And now what I can do is, obviously we know the drinking tube works, so that's good. Let's get a filter on it and just do a banana oil test. Okay, so I've now got the mask with the filter on, so you can see that's pressurising. Let's do the banana oil check as usual. So yeah, this is just using one of those Polish ABE filters, the ones that came before the FP5, but it's still a normalised filter. So let's open this up and see if I can smell anything. That's all working properly. Now I'm sure as soon as I then break the seal on the mask I'll be able to smell that banana oil. Yeah, very strong smell of bananas, so, well, all the weird fruity smell this has. So, yeah, the mask is functioning absolutely perfectly. So, compared to something like the Scott GSR, this is a much, much better mask. It's a bit simpler made, but everything on it works properly. It's a lot more comfortable. Very good field of vision, as said. This is probably the best of my panoramic masks now. So, yeah, definitely would recommend this mask to anybody who is thinking about getting one like it. As I said, you can also buy it in the shape of the Scott Promask without the drinking tube bit on. I think that's just got like a plug on it, that side, rather than having a drinking tube. But as I said, if you're going to get one of these, I'd recommend getting a Finnish built one, because they're supposedly the ones with very good quality control. Same with the Scott M95 masks. You want to get like a Finnish military version, not a Scott one that was made in the US. Not saying American masks are bad, obviously, because there's plenty of good American masks. It's just for whatever reason Scott didn't seem to have very good quality control on a lot of their products that they made themselves. But yeah, the M98 is very good, so thanks again to Beastoree for sending it me. That's a very nice Christmas gift from him. As usual, there'll be an eBay link in the description below that will have a link to his eBay page if you want to shop and buy stuff from him. He's got lots of old surplus, you know, mostly FP5 filters. But I don't know if he sells these masks, as I said. because I couldn't see any on his page when I looked, so I guess he might have just got one and thought I'd have liked it as a present, so there you go. I'd also say that this XL valve you can take out really easily. It just unscrews. So you go. You can see that the mask is now open. So obviously that's not going to make an airtight seal now, but you can probably see I'm poking my finger up there. Obviously, annoyingly I was hoping that you might be able to switch the intake and the exhale bit around, but you can't. You can take the valves all out of there anyway and sort of swap those bits around, but anyway, you know, a good mask. I like it. Thanks a lot to Beastoree for sending it me, and it's, yeah, a really interesting design.